My name is Velvel Pasternak. I was born in 1933 in Toronto, Canada, and I came to New York for high school in 1949. Today, I am a publisher of Jewish music, trying desperately to hold on to a heritage of Eastern European and Ashkenazic, certain kind of Jewish music that is not being treated by anybody else. And so there's a sentence which says that if someone else is not doing it, you have to be the person who does it. And so I've published some 200 books of Jewish music of the heritage of and the repertoire of Jews throughout the world. Until 1968, there was a lot of Jewish music in print. However, they were basically not collections of folk songs, but individual sheet music published by the Hebrew Publishing Company and by Metro Music and other small companies, some cantorial recitatives, and some liturgical music. But other than that, collections of folk songs representing the Hasidic community, the Israeli community, the Oriental community, the Sephardic community, the Yiddish community, nothing of this existed in print. Because of a situation which I have spoken about many, many times, an incident in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where they needed some music for a Jewish wedding. I supplied them, got a lot of thanks, and ended up sending copies of this music to band leaders all over the United States. I said to myself, somebody needs music in print, and so I decided that I would do a collection of songs and would get that published. It was interesting because I couldn't find a publisher after I completed the book, which was called The Hasidic Melodies, Songs of the Hasidim. And instead of that, I decided to go the route of formal publishers, and I sat down with one of the Jewish publishers, and I said to him, I'd like to get this published. He looked at me and said, you probably can't sell 10 copies of this. Nobody needs it. He said, I suggest you go to the big non-Jewish publishers. I went to a company called Silver Burdette. They looked at me, they looked at the book, and they said, young man, we don't understand it really, but if you can tell us how many hundreds of copies you can think will be sold in the first year of publication. I sort of looked at him with complete disbelief. One person told me that I couldn't sell 10 copies. And here somebody wanted to know how many copies I envisioned could sell the first year. So I saw that the publishers were out, and then I went the route of the sponsors. I tried to get sponsorship of people interested in Jewish music. I ended up at a blank wall. Nobody was interested in publishing a book of Jewish music. And so I went to an advertising man and I said to him, what can I do? He said, well, I think that you have a reputation with many of the cantors in the United States, and possibly they would be interested in a pre-publication. I said, good, I'll try it. I made up a letter which said, I'm delighted to tell you that I have just written a book collected a book of Hasidic melodies, and if you're interested, please let me know. He looked at this letter and he said, won't sell 10 copies. Why? He said, because your approach is wrong. I said, well, you're an advertising man. Give me a correct approach. He said, I'll give you the first sentence and you go from there. The first sentence was, have you ever heard a Hasidic tune and hoped that somebody would write it down? Question mark. And with that, I went on to said, well, we've done just that. I sent it out to 350 cantors who were professional at the time in synagogues all over the country. And I want you to know that within a period of 2 weeks, I had some 200 orders for a book that wasn't published at $7.50 in 1968, which was a good price. It included the postage also. I got the checks in, and I ran to the printer and I said, print. And that started Tara Publications. In the beginning, I didn't have a publishing company, so I went to one of the foremost Jewish publishers whose children I happened to be teaching at the time, and I said, would you lend me the name of your company that I can just put on the book? He said, fine. I did that. He just took a commission on every book that was sold. He did nothing else, which was absolutely fine. In 1971, after I completed a second book in Israel on a sabbatical, I renamed it to Tara Publications. After my daughter Atara, I dropped the name A and made it into just T-A-R-A, and that became the company. And we began to write, do books of Jewish music. I realized that people weren't buying hardbound editions that would cost a lot of money, so we stripped off some paperback books, and I took those paperback books around me to conventions together with my wife. We put them on the table. We spoke about Jewish music, and gradually we built up to the extent that we had almost 200 books published by the end of 2012. At that time, I realized that some things were beginning to change, and so I decided that I would do the books digitally, and I got my good friend Gopi Natan to take care of the files and to upload them, and we began. It took a period of about 2 years until all of the books were digitized, and the last couple of years we have had a website completely dedicated to digital works. You can buy the books also through our major distributor, Hal Leonard. Hal Leonard is the largest sheet music company in America today, and they took on our. Interesting how we got to them. We were at a convention in early 2000 in Anaheim, California, one of the large music convention of the year, and my son Meir, and I traveled to Anaheim. We spent a lot of money to open up a booth, and it opened up on Thursday. Friday afternoon, just before Sabbath, we hung up a sign, closed for the Sabbath. People just looked at us as if we were absolutely crazy. Saturday is the biggest day of the convention period, when all of the buyers come to look from all over the world, come to look at new sheet music. Sunday morning, the head of Hal Leonard, this company, came over to us and said, young men, we were a little bit younger at the time, said, young men, we never saw anything like this at a convention. If you guys can do something like this and close down, you're the kind of people that we need. Would you be interested in being our Jewish music library? We said, of course. Since 2000, we have been with Hal Leonard. We are the Jewish music library of this company, and our music, thank God, goes through them, goes all over the world. So they handle our print material. We now are really concentrating on the digital material. We have taken care of a lot of Jewish music from various communities, and hopefully we will continue to it. I am hopeful that some of my children will get involved in this and take it over, because it has to be somebody who really has a dedication to this. It's not a great business from the point of view of finances, and certainly if we sell a piece of sheet music, digitally for $3, and we spend 50 cents for the transaction, then pay the taxes and have it uploaded and the space on our website. We're not making a fortune of money, but I hope that we are doing a service, and I would hope that some other people would eventually be involved in preserving the music. There is a company that is helping to preserve the music of the present-day composers of liturgical and Jewish folk music. We are still concentrating on the heritage of the East European and the Sephardic Oriental heritage, and we will try to do our best to keep on as long as we have the strength and the facility to do it. Right now we are operating out of my basement, the studio in Cedarhurst, New York, where we have been since 1968, with a period of 5 years. We were in Owings Mills, Maryland, with a very, very large facility. That was during the dot-com era. We thought that we would grab the bull by the horns and really make some great business out of this. Unfortunately, it did not work too well. We took it back to Cedarhurst, where we are to this day, and we still have our shelves with a little bit of music. Got a little bit less because Hal Leonard is taking care of it, but we are very, very content, and we feel that we have contributed in an area where others have not.